Once you have raised a contact, a project, your tasks, and added your time to OpenBooks, you are now in a position to be able to pull through your time onto an invoice and to raise your invoice. To access the invoicing screen, please select Work from the top menu and then select Invoicing from the drop-down. The first time you add your invoice to OpenBooks, you will see this splash screen. Please select Create My First Invoice. Subsequently, you'll need to look in the top right-hand corner for a green box that says Create Invoice. When raising your invoice, it is important you select the right contact and the right project against which you have raised your time already. If you do not select the right combination, then you will not be able to pull through your time which you have already added. The invoice date here is important, as OpenBooks will only pull through unbilled time up to and including the invoice date that is specified. So if required, make sure you change your invoice date to pull through all your unbilled time. If you wish for any additional text to appear on the invoice, please complete the additional text box, and this instruction will appear at the foot of your invoice. We now approach one of the most critical stages when raising the invoice. That is, pulling through the unbilled time from the system. Where it says Add Unbilled Time, Expenses and Estimates, make sure you select from the drop-down of Add Unbilled Time. We recommend that you select one line per time slip. From our experience, one line per time slip is what the agencies prefer when they are receiving invoices directly. When you're happy that the information within is correct, please select the button Create New Invoice. Well done, you have now raised your first invoice. However, there are still a few steps to go before we have finished this. If your contract is self-billing with your agency, that is that your driver for being paid is completing an agency timesheet or an agency portal, the only thing you need to do now is to select Mark as Sent at the top of the screen. By marking it as sent, we are effectively telling OpenBooks that the invoice has been sent. It will be marked as live and the figures will be counted in the company figures. Once you have clicked Mark as Sent, the invoice will appear as sent and the button at the top will change to reflect this. If you are not self-billing and your agency is expecting a physical invoice from your company, look in the top right hand corner and you will see a button that says Send by Email. If you click Send by Email, you will then be taken through to the email send page. The billing email address has been pulled through from your contact where you specified the contact billing email address. The invoice is now ready to be sent and it will be attached to the email as a PDF attachment. Before we can send though, we need to populate the body of the email. Put in a gentle greeting in there and when you're happy, select Send by Email at the bottom. If you use OpenBooks to send your email, it is automatically marked as sent within the system. If you have sent the invoice via email, by scrolling to the bottom of the page, you will be able to see an invoice email history that confirms whether your email has been delivered or whether in this case it has bounced back. If you ever wish to edit an invoice that has previously been sent, it will need to be marked as draft first. Editing can only take place while the invoice is in its draft stage. To do this, please select Make Draft from the top of the invoice. As you can see, now the invoice has been marked as draft, the editing functions are once again available. Now that you've recorded your invoice, you can return to the overview screen by selecting Overview from the top menu.